All right, soon we are going to be underway with the first winner's semi set. Dabuz versus Raito. Raito, of course, repping the Japan tag. He is, I believe, the lone Japanese player here, holding it down spectacularly for his region. Meanwhile, Dabuz, of course, potential top 5 on the PGR, depending on how this tournament plays out for him. But we'll see. This is going to be quite the set, an incredibly high-level exchange versus these two fantastic players.
If you told me a year ago that Albion 4 was going to have Raito versus Dabuz in winners semis, I don't know how we've got here, but we're here, man. Battlefield of game 1. This is kind of crazy. So, you can definitely tell in this matchup how this is going to play out. I mean, that down B, it kind of nullifies pretty much everything that Duncan has to wall out. And then from there, it's like, what do you kind of do when you've got down air as well? Is he dead?
No, he's not. Great tech coming out from Raito. He's back to the stage, but once again off immediately. Raito's just kind of stuck in this corner, but the Luma already losing its life. Luma definitely a bit more fragile than it was in the previous game. And that is such a huge factor for Rosalina, not having that star on deck as frequently as much of a presence usually is.
Yeah. And you can see the way Dabuz is trying to play this, right? He's trying to have like bursts of aggression here and there, things like that with the dash attack. But then when it gets to this kind of situation, you'll almost see him retreat back into a platform situation. Like, just go under the platform, let Raito do his thing, because he can't really do anything if he's at that like kind of long range distance because he's not got any approach options.
All right, Raito, instead of going for the Luma, choosing to try to hold Rosa at the ledge. Dabuz able to get his foot back on the floor, and once again, Raito is now the one stuck in the corner. Beautiful confirm off of the clay pigeon. And despite how potent that down B is, there are ways for Raito to work around it, and a beautiful punish up smash out of shield for Raito to get the first KO. We hear the crowd barking like a dog.
Who let the dogs out? They're chanting right now. That is, I hate the crowd, man.
And by hate, we mean absolutely adore.
Oh, yeah, no, absolutely.
We love this energy coming out from the crowd, even in these slower pace sets. But the Luma, the star, launching Raito into space.
And you can see here, I mean, honestly, I feel like I maybe even provided a little bit of a lack of analysis on this, because this is definitely not as slow-paced a game as I first intended it to be honest. Raito definitely going in right now, 93% unchallenged on the second stock. Yeah, definitely a lot fast-paced game than I was actually expecting. Raito with the aggression here, he's got him at ledge, but the can is all the way up there. It's not really going to be providing anything there. At least throwing out the can will put Dabuz into that kind of move lag of the down B, if nothing else, which is then Raito can then capitalize on with things like the disjointed back air and forward air.
Yeah, Raito just kind of slowing down the pace, holding down center stage. He knows that even though Dabuz has that down B, there's still a lot more that Dabuz needs to do in order to work around, because even though he nullifies the projectiles, he doesn't gain anything. He doesn't gain any stage control. He doesn't gain any overall positional advantage. So, you know, especially at a stock deficit like this, he can't afford to play the pure passive game that he might want to.
Yeah, it really is just a test of patience between these two, because yes, Dabuz could keep doing that against Raito, but at the same time, Raito could just keep throwing it out and we're just at square one. But Dabuz is a full stock down. He needs to do something big here.
See him getting that chip damage with the star bits. Again, also another thing to note is that, of course, the Luma cannot shield. So it takes a lot of this chip damage from the gunman, the clay pigeon, the can, and it just wears down, leaving Rosa by herself in a lot of instances.
Absolutely. That's why you'll see Dabuz definitely try and face it back towards Raito times. Obviously throwing out the back air, one of her best disjointed moves with Luma. And also to protect Luma from obviously like kind of random hits that Raito throws out as well.
And now look at that. That was so interesting. The fact that the Raito was able to kind of snag stage control, forced Dabuz to retreat. Even though Dabuz was using that down B, Raito was the one that was able to gain advantage, and that's, again, another factor of this matchup. It's not quite as simple as one may seem with that down special just nullifying everything.
Absolutely. Just see the way that Raito is playing this, that shield damage as well on Dabuz is slowly and surely adding up. So Dabuz has to play a little bit more aggressive to at least try and get a bit more shield back. He should be dead for that. Yeah, absolutely.
And that is one of the areas where, of course, the down B is especially strong. Being able to use the gravitational pull to get rid of that can and make the edge guard a lot simpler for Rosa.
Lovely can option there from Raito. He was able to retreat into center stage and make sure Dabuz couldn't even contest it because the shield was too close to the can.
And again, you see a lot of these kind of jump backs from Raito. He'll dash in, jump back. He wants Dabuz to try to force his way in to press his advantage, but Dabuz is such a seasoned veteran. He knows that he can't afford to commit in those situations.
That can coming out so quickly. Very, very few frames on its startup, so he's able to interrupt a lot of combos.
Yeah, very much like Snake's grenades. It can be used to break out of combos. It usually forces trades, again, like Snake's grenades, but...
Oh my god. Talk about being caught between a rock and a hard place. That's the last place you want to be caught, between Luma and Dabuz there. That's a bad time, but Raito able to weave around it. And there goes Luma again. Now this is scary for Dabuz. How does he get off ledge here?
Great get of attack.
Yeah.
I think Raito probably wanted to anticipate a jump there. That is what Dabuz has kind of been going for. Almost gets the can right there.
So close for him.
And this is suddenly a much closer game again. Just kind of the slow gameplay that Dabuz has been willing, the pace that Dabuz has been willing to play at. Gets the ledge trump, but no punish.
Slow ledge trump working out there for Dabuz. Forward throw. Luma gone again. Dabuz needs to get Raito off stage and go for a down air. I think that's his win condition right now. We're in.
Another great grab. Won't get the KO just yet. Battlefield high ceiling, preventing that from happening. Can at the ledge. What is he going to do?
Yeah,
doesn't catch the boss. Needs to get up.
Oh, okay, that's an up throw. Not going to do it again. I'm not too sure about how Dukun's throws, like kill percent or anything like that, but I'm sure Raito knows better than I do. Up throw is very, very close to doing it, though. It must seem.
202%. Rosa not the heaviest character out there.
Up throw.
Definitely got a weight bump, but the final up throw, more than enough. Third and final one, taking the first game for Raito.
And again, it was just like, we kind of discussed it a little bit before. We discussed it a little bit before when it came to the matchup. It is very much a test of patience, very much a war of attrition between these two. Basically, who's willing to outlane the other one, right? It's like very much about throwing out projectiles, absorbing the projectiles, throwing out more, absorbing more. One of them eventually is just going to be like, all right, you know what? Yeah.
One of them will eventually try to press their advantage, and in doing so, they may create opportunities where they're vulnerable, where they create openings to just get hit and rack up that damage, and that can create a kind of downward spiral of frustration when you need to close the gap. That said, though, I still feel like both of these players are so good at remaining composed in those situations.
For sure. And again, we're going to go to, obviously we're going to Pump Stadium from what we can tell from the music. And I don't know, like when it comes to this stage in particular, I'm very interested to see why Dabuz has picked it. More so because he doesn't have the benefit of the top platform to kind of try and string together things like up airs. Again, not as potent with Rosalina in this game for sure. But I think Stadium, generally speaking, is a pretty decent stage, so yeah, I can see why.
Seen by many as one of the more neutral picks in the game. Maybe Dabuz kind of wants that extra space just so that he has that breathing room to think about his plays a little bit more.
Sure.
Wow, okay, juggle so far.
Lovely Nair is up, and Nair is such an interesting move with Rosa in this game. Very, very good combo starter, and able to actually do lots of damage with it as well from the kind of resulting up airs that happen after it.
Yeah, very, very different move is that Rosa Nair comparative to the previous game. It comes out a lot slower, but the motion overall is a lot quicker, and she can do an aerial just before landing after a short hop Nair as well. It makes her pressure with that move often very ambiguous. You'll see Dabuz kind of whiff neutral airs in neutral just so that he can create these kind of ambiguous pressure situations.
You saw the way Dabuz just kind of run into Raito and just shielded just because he was like, you know what, you're going to take damage from this count, and I'm not going to really do, not really going to disadvantage from it at all.
Excellent catch on that overextension from the forward air from Dabuz, and this is a very different dynamic of this game. Now that Dabuz is the one in the lead, simply going for these gravitational pulls is nowhere near a detriment to him. He doesn't need to worry about trying to gain advantage because he has this big lead.
Okay, although Raito trying to make that a common myth, to be honest, right now. Jesus, that amount of percent, that's the stock.
Wow, untouched in that stock was Raito. What a turnaround.
We were talking about a lead like 10 seconds ago, Vera, but Raito was just like, you know what? never mind. I've had enough of this one.
Oh, beautiful landing neutral air into the grab. I love seeing those kind of advanced techs from Rosalina in this game. Tries to get the up smash after the clay pigeon. Hitboxes on that move, a little bit awkward to land at times. And again, you can see it there very often. He'll go for that short hop there and then use the dash attack for the Luma just as he's trying to land with an attack. It creates a lot of distance between Luma and Rosa and creates really interesting pressure situations from long distance.
Oh, wow, that was a lovely catch with the down air. This should be the start.
Yes.
Yeah, goes all the way out.
Rosa's such a floaty character, willing to go super deep for those edge guards. Now Dabuz once again with this fantastic lead, but Raito, we know, is more than capable of answering back. Luma gone for the count, down for the count.
Yeah, Raito has generally been really, really good at getting rid of Luma as quickly as he possibly can, to be honest. Like, when it comes to the positions where he's finally able to get in, like, get in some way, he's able to kind of dispatch of Luma very, very quickly.
At the moment, it feels like Raito is getting a lot of his damage when he's able to isolate Rosa and Dabuz onto a platform and just kind of juggle him with those up airs. Otherwise, it feels like he's having a little bit of a hard time starting up what he wants to in neutral. The combination of these star bits as well as the gravitational pull, just doing a ton of work for Dabuz.
Forward throw, gets rid of Luma with the dash attack. Really good. Oh my!
And
Do
once
not
again,
jump there, my friend. What are you doing?
Once again, he was untouched in that stock. This is just such a ridiculous back and forth game between these two, and now it's getting even stronger.
Oh god, he's kept Luma there. That could have been scary for your man Raito, because could have just lost a lot of advantage state from that alone.
Good neutral air from Raito right there, just to diffuse the potential advantage Dabuz could have gained right there. And again, these juggles from these up airs. Rosa being such a floaty character, gets the landing there, but wasn't confident in it hitting.
Saw the forward smash come out there from Raito. That was an all money on the table kind of play, man. It nearly worked out as well. Gets rid of Luma again. Was not able to get anything cooking in this last stock, and that can't be good signs.
Beautiful up air right there, and I love when he's in the corner, when he's in those disadvantageous situations, Dabuz is not afraid to go for the aggressive option. That forward smash would have taken the game if it hit its mark, but
oh
Raito.
god, a lot of stuff going on there for Raito to even take to even think about getting back to the stage, and he was able to do it successfully. Forward tilt. Well, he just got for a down tilt. I thought he was going to try and get the Luma away.
Big down air for Dabuz. Now he has stage control. Great use of the can. The explosions chipping away and knocking Dabuz, but still Dabuz is the one with stage control.
Yeah,
Down air missing
and now
his
he's
mark
at the
this time.
ledge. This is scary for him.
Very, very scary.
Oh my god,
Almost.
that up air was so close to hitting. That would have been the game.
Oh, what a trade, and who cares?
Dabuz takes it.
Oh, that was such a wild trade. He used the can, but unfortunately it backfires on him. And instead, Dabuz is able to take game two. Really intense last hit situation right there.
I mean, a couple more percent and Dabuz was gone as well, and it's benefited him very, very well there, Dabuz. He might have just stolen the game from Raito in that second game.
Maybe. There was such a drastic back and forth dynamic throughout that game. Just one of them would take a stock, and then Raito would just take the next stock completely unanswered, and then it would just kind of repeat the process again. But now moving on to this game three, Raito's counter pick. Where do you think he's going to select this time?
In terms of stage, I feel like we're probably going to see something like Town if Dabuz doesn't ban it. I can imagine Dabuz banning something like FD and Kalos, probably.
Maybe.
After that, I can imagine we'd probably go to something like Town. I think Unova's actually legal in this stage list, isn't it? So
I think so,
you
yeah.
always see Unova, but I feel like Town is the best choice for Raito based on this matchup. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Smashville instead, okay. Constricting the space that Dabuz wanted to gain in the previous game. But now Starbits reaching across the entire, half the stage at the moment.
Yeah, he definitely wanted to make sure the space was definitely as enclosed as it possibly could be. So Town City maybe not the right choice, but even then, Smashville definitely the best option for that if it wasn't something like Yoshi's or Lilac.
Again, Raito just so ready to cover multiple options. He had the can ready to cover the rollback, and then he was in position to cover the roll forward from Dabuz as well. Exactly the kind of gameplay you see from such a seasoned master of his character. Beautiful confirm off the gunman.
Okay, and the can actually interacting really unfortunately there with the neutral end. Not an ideal trade for Dabuz. He's got himself a disadvantage. He's looking away, that he's just making sure that he stalls for that Luma. Again, intelligent play here from Dabuz.
Once again, we see Raito trying to read Dabuz's jumps, but he's so good at mixing up when he does them. Raito really hasn't been able to properly control the ledge.
Oh god, an aggressive up B there from Dabuz. Is he able to get off the ledge? The forward throw, oh, down throw.
Down throw, trying to get the DI mix up, hoping that Dabuz would DI in, but Dabuz knew they wouldn't die from the forward throw, so he holds away instead. Once again, these two just playing this full stage length game. Beautiful stuff to Raito, just hitting that can on its final hit and sniping him in the magnifying glass.
Oh, what?
Through the stage, the giant halo going through and poking. Wow.
I'm sorry. Did Dabuz, did Rosa forget that there was a stage in the middle of the down air? All right, cool.
Ivysaur, was that you? Ivysaur?
Jeez. What?
I didn't realize.
I'm actually kind of stunned from that.
I didn't realize there was a Pokemon trainer in this top 8 all of a sudden, but
wow,
you know.
So. Well, that was a bit of a momentum killer for Raito, if nothing else, and it definitely worked out for Dabuz. Lovely play with that down air. Definitely not expecting it. It's all worked out.
Still though, Raito does have this slight lead, but a fragile one as Dabuz is gradually closing that gap. Luma is back online, and now the star bits once again. So much work for Dabuz. Beautiful way to just work his way in. Rosa is a relatively fast character on the ground. She has a pretty respectable dash and run speed, so she can work her way in when she wants to. Beautiful back edge just to swat the can away.
There's in there, and again, this is the thing, man. Like, both these guys, it's definitely Dabuz who's being the aggressor in this, because Raito can kind of sit back and do pretty much whatever he wants at this point. With that stock lead.
We saw Raito try to go for that double can conversion right there, but just a little bit off on the mark on the second one. That would have been Dabuz's stop, but again, we're once again in this ledge trapping situation. Beautiful recovery coming out from Dabuz.
Okay, yeah. Oh, wow, and I'm surprised the back end didn't actually trade at all with the attack there with the clay pigeon. But it's all worked out for Raito, but at the ledge, beautiful trapping there from Dabuz.
Yeah, that Luma down end, not as quick as it used to be, but still pretty much just as strong. Incredibly potent KO move off the side, and now suddenly Dabuz is the one in the lead, even though Raito seemed like he had quite a bit of control.
Okay, that can actually, I think, either shield poke or Dabuz dropped his shield literally in the frame that can was going to hit.
Once again, good stuff to Raito, just trying to hold this ledge down, but again, that is the one thing that's kind of held him back with this stage counter pick. Dabuz's ability to just recover on the under the stage.
Yeah, pretty much uncontested as well, that's the thing.
Yeah. Duckon can't really afford to commit in that position. He could easily lose his stock. He doesn't have the best recovery in the world.
Yep. There's the dash attack. A little bit of chip percent, and that's the kind of thing you need right now. There's the Nair into up air. Nair is a really, really good utility for Rosa. Raito finally taking that stock though.
With the forward tilt, given a little bit of an extra kick in this game. Wasn't really a KO move in the previous one, but definitely can find stocks at those later percents now in this game. Once again, we're seeing that slow pace, full screen neutral, but Dabuz now stuck in the sky on the platform. Raito looking for those opportunities to pressure him.
You can just see, like, again, this is the thing, like, Dabuz doesn't realize that the can is out, so he's absolutely just not committing to anything. Now he's going off stage.
Oh, that yeah.
Was antsy, and Dabuz, the fist bump from the SD, that's a powerful move. I love it. I'm a fan.
Yeah, and that's exactly the thing. Once he's able to get Raito into those situations where he knows he can afford to go deep and commit off stage, Raito just kind of has to go for a panic option. He doesn't really have much in those positions. Yeah, his up B was given the added option of being able to attack and air dodge out of it. But if you can't reach the stage with that air dodge, then
that's what
you're done,
man. That's the thing, man, because, like, in that position, the only option he would have had is the can. But at that percent, you were dead anyway. So it's like, you kind of just had to throw out the air dodge and hope for the best. Unfortunately, it's not worked out for your man. Raito, we are going into this game 4 to bust 2-1 up, and we're going to Town and City now. So a little bit different from the option we picked. A lot more enclosed, obviously Smash 4 was compared to this. A lot bigger stage now on Town and City.
Yeah, the stage that you were anticipating in the game 3 now coming out for game 4. Good forward tilt. No punish on the dash attack though.
I'll be interested to see how this kind of changes up the way that Raito approaches the matchup, because I feel like we've seen the very, very consistent usage of things like Cannon, Play Pigeon, and the Gunman, of course. But being able to navigate around such a big city like, a big stage like Town and City, should I say, sorry, it's going to be difficult for Raito to make sure that he actually capitalizes on problems that Dabuz has when it comes to approaching.
Good trade from Raito, but a pretty even game. Lots of back and forth exchanges. When these two find their way in to just try to maximize their damage, they definitely become quite scrappy in that kind of close quarter situation.
Okay. Just taking his time on the platform. Very, very good patient play from Dabuz.
Yeah, we're seeing Raito go for a lot of these reads on Dabuz's defensive options, but he never goes for the same thing twice. Dabuz is just so smart with how he's able to work in disadvantage, and that's been one of the strongest elements of him as a player, I believe. That's what has allowed him to be so consistent, both in this game and throughout all of Smash 4.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, okay, the can actually hitting Raito there. Luma trying to go outside for playing a little bit, but she's actually just going to try to die for it. That was unfortunate. The invincibility and the grab actually making sure the can doesn't have any kind of knockback there. Raito just taking all the damage.
Yeah, Raito instead of hitting Dabuz, he ended up getting hit by his own can during that grab.
A little bit of stalling there from Dabuz, just doing B-reverse gravitational pulls. Lovely call out with that up smash out of shield on Raito's jump, and Dabuz taking that stock very, very intelligently.
Yeah, we haven't actually seen too much up smash coming out from Dabuz, but that can able to get the trade and take the stock. Only 33% deficit now for Raito.
Dabuz just trying to do as much damage as he can to that counter. It's not really working out in that instance. Very, very even game. Again, Durham, you pointed it out before. These guys are so evenly matched. It's really, really coming to show so far in this game 4.
The Luma being in the way ended up forcing the can to explode in a less than ideal situation for...
Okay, is he able to land? He is. How is he going to be able to get in that situation again? He is down at this point, so he does need to start approaching.
Yes.
Lovely use of the can there. Actually goes above the Luma.
And
as just like that, that's the stock.
And as Dabuz is trying to fade back, he ended up with poor DI on that back air, losing his stock a lot earlier than he would have liked.
Wow. Very, very scary stuff there for Raito. Dabuz just standing under the platform. It's like, all right, make a choice. I can do what I want here.
Being above Rosa, of course. Arguably not as terrifying as it was in Smash 4, but still terrifying, yeah. Terrifying nonetheless.
Yeah, you can just see Dabuz is playing very, very slowly right now. But my man, you're down. You can't, right? I know obviously you want to be playing patient, but at the same time, you're a stock down 60%. You can't be running away, gravitational pulling, and playing a little bit more defensively. You kind of got to play the aggressor, unfortunately.
He does have a little bit of time on the clock, 4 minutes, and now up smash from Luma, so gigantic, able to take that stock. 70%, definitely something that Dabuz can work with here.
Oh, lovely choice there from Dabuz, realizing that Raito wasn't able to shield in time and then hitting him with that up there from Luma.
And I love that kind of fake out from Dabuz, making Raito think he's going to go to the platform and instead weaving to ledge. Such smart play from the corner from Dabuz.
Yep, and again, Dabuz very much on his last legs of this game 4.
This is really tricky for Dabuz. Can off stage, and he used the back air to keep it in the corner.
That movement from the can was not ideal for Dabuz. He had to do a lot of readjusting on his recovery based on that.
Right, the Luma is back, so a
Oh,
potential play.
Didn't kill?
Yeah, that was one. They kind of swapped the knockback of up tilt and forward tilt in this game.
Yeah.
Forward tilt is the one that kind of has a bit of kick, but these juggles coming out from Dabuz, suddenly this is a much, much closer game. Tried to look for that up smash. That Luma up smash would have been it.
Down air at the ledge.
The back air finding the mark, and that'll be a game 5, 2-2. Raito taking that game 4. A real test of patience and endurance for both players. This is nuts.
Really, really smart stuff there from Dabuz. Again, you could just see the way that he was trying to start taking that stock back. It almost looked like all the momentum was on his favor, but unfortunately, for your man, Dabuz, Raito was able to clutch it out with that full tilt. I don't know what is going on, but game 5, we are here, ladies and gents. Game 5 on Pokemon Stadium. Happy to go back to this stage. Raito starting off very aggro right now. Look at this page. Oh my days, 41% out of nowhere, man. That would have taken a good 30 seconds to do in the first half of the game.
And sometimes you just love to see that. Sometimes when you get to that game 5 situation of a slow pace set, sometimes you just need to inject that small dosage of extra pace just to kind of keep your opponent on their toes.
Okay, there's another back air, and again, now Raito slowing it down a little bit, being like, all right, you got a taste of the pie. Let's slow it down a little bit. Let's put it back on the cooker. You don't get to eat the whole thing. Just
yeah, taste is all you're getting, not even a slice.
Okay, again, he's got him out the ledge. We'll try to go for a down air on an aggressive option there for Dabuz. Raito in full control of this neutral so far. Dabuz really just not being able to get an against all when it comes to this.
Once again, stuck in the corner, but again, finding his way back center stage.
Back air, yeah.
Very, very nice. Such a solid confirm for Duck Hunt, being able to confirm off the clay pigeon into those aerials, the back air being the most potent, of course. The crowd chanting, and look at all this damage that Raito is just packing back on.
And when you're down at this percent, man, 49% first stock against 42 second, this is unfortunate for Dabuz, man, because now he knows he needs to be playing a lot more aggro. But even then, it's like Raito has definitely shown kind of the spurts of aggro a little bit earlier in the game, so it's just like, how is he even going to play? How do you contest this right now? It's going to be a lot of adapting that Dabuz needs to do mid-game.
Well, those juggles were certainly a fantastic start. A lot of damage tacked onto Raito from those continuous up airs.
Dash attack. Happy to take that grab into back throw, should I say, sorry, in exchange for getting rid of Luma for a little bit of time. That's an up air, that's going to be the stop.
With all that rage as well, and Rosalina's lightweight, that is more than enough to take the stock. And finally, this is one of the most substantial, if not the most substantial lead we've seen throughout the set, barring the Game 2 lead that Dabuz had.
Two-stock lead was pretty much not even on the cards at all based on those first 4 games, but even then, Dabuz has done a very, very good job so far. Trying to keep himself in this, but Raito's just played so well in this game 5, man.
He's playing absolutely superb. All of these stray hits are just racking up the damage versus Dabuz. The way that these two are just kind of working around each other's zones of control, just trying to get as much damage as possible, but Raito once again, but finally getting that back air in the corner. All right, Dabuz still in this, still on the board. As long as he's able to hold on to that final stock, there is still hope for Dabuz, and Dabuz is definitely a player who has that clutch factor.
Down there. It only takes an early stock. He's like, oh my god, the down there. Are we going to see it?
Big hits coming out from Dabuz. And we know he wants these big plays. He kind of needs them if he wants to stay in this game, but in this set.
In that whole situation, it just did not work out for Dabuz. He was able to absorb the can, but he wasn't able to get the aggressive down air that he wanted as well.
Now, once again, kind of back to the pace that Raito wants to play. great can, missing the back air, but still, this is still a great situation for Raito as a whole.
The crowd firmly in Raito's corner from what I can tell. Dabuz making sure that does not phase him, playing his game. He's able to get back into this so far, but he's still a full stock down Viren.
Dabuz has to do so much work at the moment, and just Raito is just not allowing him to get into the zone where he wants to get those big hits. And once again at the ledge, jumping around the can.
Oh, the clay pigeon hits were able to catch Dabuz slipping a little bit because he dropped the shield a bit too early. Oh my god, that gunman is dead. He's not coming back. There's an up smash.
That was such a crucial up smash. Can Dabuz make the magic happen? Can he work this stock with Rage, or will Raito be able to take this home and move on to winners finals?
I mean, look, if any guy can do it in this winners semis, it's definitely Dabuz. This guy has made so many clutch options in the past.
Oh, the gunman launching him into the sky. One of the harder hitting gunmans coming out. What does Dabuz do right here? It feels like he's playing this slow, but he needs to find the answer, and he's unable to find it. Raito moving forward into winners finals. What a fantastic play. What a fantastic demonstration of the Duck Hunt duo.
Amazing stuff there from Raito. And that last exchange, he just called out the jump, because you could see the way Dabuz was just like doing a lot of the absorptions. He was doing a couple of jumps here and there. Raito was just like, you know what?